Hello again, everyone. NG here. Today I'm just showing off one of the builds that I put out yesterday in my Psyker build tier list. I think that this is easily one of the S tier builds for Psyker. It is just so usable. It is so simple. Every level of play, this is going to be really competitive. If you're playing anything lower than Auric Maelstrom, this is just absolutely going to carry every game with its insane damage. You really don't even need that much defenses because of how easy it is to kill everything. You don't need to learn how to melee anything because you can use this staff the entire time. And the staff in question is the Electrokinetic Force Staff, aka the Lightning Bolt Staff. Now, what we're doing as far as a build here is we're dumping Quell Speed. We don't need any of that, and we need as much damage, warp resistance, charge rate, and critical bonus as possible. Then for our perks, we have critical hit chance and range critical hit damage. For our blessings, we have Surge, which is a new blessing that has come to this shock staff, which also gives us 5% ranged crit and 2 shots on critical hit. Now, this does not apply to the lightning bolts that come out when you charge with M2. There have been some people in my comments saying that this might be a glitch. If they patch this and make it so lightning bolts are doubled when you get a crit with the staff, it will become absolute god tier, a weapon more fearsome than we've seen in the game up to this point. And then our other blessing is Warp Nexus, because 20% crit chance is nothing to shake a stick at. We're going to have absolutely absurd levels of crit with this staff going in this build. For the melee, which I will almost definitely not pull out to kill anything with, it is the dueling sword for me. There's plenty of different weapons you can run with the Psyker, but I think the dueling sword, especially with these 2 new blessings that it's gotten, is ascending. It's definitely was already S tier, and now it might be S plus tier. So agile makes it so if we get a melee weak spot hit, not even a kill, we get all of our dodges back. And thrust means that when we hold down the rapier like lunge for even just a second, we get up to 60% additional power. We can 2-shot crushers with this thing. And the best part is if you are ever in a bind and you're getting kind of hemmed in by lesser enemies and you need to make some space to cast, you just start swinging your weapon and dodging to one side, and agile will continue to refresh your dodge and you'll be able to dodge on out of there. Let's go ahead and take a look at the talent tree. So we're doing metal and perfect timing because this is going to give us an extra 15% damage, and this is one of our main ways we're going to replenish toughness. The other main way we replenish toughness is through Soul Stealer, which is every time we get a kill, basically, because we're using the staff, which is warp attacks. Coming down here, Brain Rupture. We do not use the Brain Rupture at all. We're just using it for the free 10% chance to Brain Rupture on a 15-second cooldown. This happens, 15 seconds is a very short amount of time. You'd be surprised how much damage this actually puts out. It'll instantly drop a crusher sometimes. And then Psykinetics Aura, because cooldown is really important for us. We want to have our venting streak up at all times, just as an extra layer of security so we don't explode ourselves. And sometimes we are going to want to nearly explode ourselves intentionally so we can get some extra damage out. Then coming over here all the way to this right to get this 5% crit chance. Crit is just so amazing, especially with this build, so we're taking it. Then Venting Shriek. We'll talk in a second about the augments we have here. They work in sort of the gameplay cycle for this build. And then we go all the way out here to the right because this is a 5% crit hit chance node, so we take that. And then Warp Rider, because 20% damage when we're high on peril, which we're going to spend a lot of time very high on peril. Because we have this vent, we can hang out at nearly 100% peril without worry of exploding. Then we come down here for Quell Speed. In case you don't have your vent and you need to dump a little bit extra, you can dump half of your peril in like 1 second or so. Very nice to have. And then the new talent that makes this build really shine, which is this Empiric Resolve. We lose 30% of our toughness replenishment, but we gain, or I guess we lose 40% of the peril that we would normally generate. So we can cast so much without building up our peril bar. If you vent and you fully drain your peril, it will take you longer to generate that peril to explode than the time that it takes to actually get your vent back up. And so it really kind of like smooths up the cycle. You'll spend way less time venting and more time throwing lightning bolts, which is what we want to be doing. Okay, and then we cap off with Warp Siphon with specifically the Infire Reborn modifier that's going to give us our 6 warp charges. And here is the cycle of gameplay. You're going to cast, and cast even more until you're about to explode. And when you start to explode, you're going to vent. And this vent, you're going to want to aim it towards enemies so that you get Becalming Eruption. And you put Creeping Flames on them. You put Soul Blaze on all these targets. And then if they die to Soul Blaze, or if you kill them immediately afterwards while they're still burning with some more lightning, you are going to get 10% of them converted into warp charges. And every warp charge you have lowers your cooldown for your vent. So pretty much on average, if you're successfully hitting a good group of enemies and getting lots of these Soul Blaze kills, you're going to have between 30 and 45% discount on your cooldown times, which is very, very nice to almost always have that up. Let us go ahead and run this into a game. I'm going to be playing Rolling Steel, the new 10-minute, what they're calling operations. I like these short missions because oh my god, it's an ugly weapon. Jesus Christ, these new skins are so bad. I like that they count as full missions for the purpose of Melk's quests, but also I think it's nice to have something where it can be intense the whole time. A thing I've talked about before is that Darktide is afraid of having ending events or events in general that cause people to die because they don't want you to lose 30 minutes of your life. But we can lose 5 minutes of our life, so they make this really hard. Let me cue up some music here. I hope you guys like guitar solos. So do not sleep on the left clicks with this build. The new Surge buff is kind of insane. Shooting 2 bolts for the price of 1 is pretty huge. We're going to go ahead and vent here so we can get our warp stacks. And just keep focus fire. Move, move, move! I'm gonna go ahead and volley at this guy. You can see this staff has absurd range and it is perfect precision. So I'll just ping a target that's like half the fucking world away, and I'll just left click on them till they die. As you can see my crit rate in the red number, not the big red number in the center of my screen, that's my peril number. But the number just above that, which is about 58% currently, that is an absurd level of crit. And remember, every crit attack that we throw is doubled. Why don't you go up there? I can't deal with that. Trying to get this done while these guys are freaking dying up there. Yeah, stay on the bottom of the train, generally. Is this, I mean, this staff in general is really good, but on this map, the fact it's all linear is very nice. There's very little room for the enemies to dodge our attacks, which are basically filling the hallway with instant death. In this little area right here, you have to be super careful not to get swarmed and overwhelmed. That's what I've found. I'm very likely going to go down here shortly. I'm going to keep some of these enemies off my allies. Keep my back to this wall over here so I don't get killed. Hold that charge as long as I can. In there. Might go down here, but it's okay. My allies should probably get me. I'm gonna burst that right now. Kill it. Yeah, there we go. I hear a trapper. There it is. This health before I die. Oh boy. Go ahead and use my right click here because it's going to splash. It's also going to stagger these enemies for my allies. They have a little second to breathe. Can't see it all. Oh good, we got the front point. That's gonna save us some time here, which is good because we were running low. I'll hack it because I can do it without stepping in the fire. It's good to position yourself. Oh fuck, we got a sniper on me. Also, with this 40% less peril generation, a single left click costs about 1.5%. Given the amount of damage you get out of it and the fact it's free, it is absurd levels of damage.
Grandfather finds you.
You gotta be really careful with this guy. He will knock your ass off the edge of the map. Very, very often. We go ahead and vent there. Oh fuck, we're surrounded. So we're gonna left click our way out of here. I like to position myself over here. And we're gonna left click him when he's on the ground, because our left clicks do absurd damage. We're gonna shock him when he's up. Oh Jesus, no way, dude. I'm so glad he didn't change targets to this ogre while I was doing that. Keep my back to this wall. Hit him with the left clicks. Yeah, nice to keep your back against this wall here, or even better, stand in these little cubbies here. We should be alright. I'm gonna go nuclear here. Now the lightning damage, I don't think, because it's not a ranged projectile in the same technical way, I don't think it has the same damage reduction against his shields that other ranged attacks do. It seems to do a pretty good chunk. You can see it there. Every time I pull my hand back, that's him being hit. There we go. Let's go break all these. Very nice. And that is the new level and a very powerful build. I definitely think this build is S tier. It's just so easy to use. Does so much damage. You're coming out that door right there. Go ahead and do it. Very nice. Easy game, just spam, spam, spam all day. And you can see there, even compared to the other Psyker, we did 20% more damage than him, with very little skill input required. Just an absurd, absurd amount of damage from this build. I love it a lot. Anyway, else, have a good day playing if you are playing, and I'll see you next time.